Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michael. Welcome to the Gas and Gavel YouTube channel. Today, we are going to take a look at this 2016 BMW i8. This BMW i8 is finished in a crystal white pearl metallic with BMW I frozen blue accents exterior paint with a contrasting Giga ivory white leather interior. The BMW i8 is a hybrid vehicle, and it is powered by a 1.5 liter inline 3-cylinder turbocharged motor mounted to two electric motors, one electric motor in front, one electric motor in rear. That turbocharged inline 4 motor is mounted behind the front passenger seats in the middle rear of the vehicle, like any proper exotic car should be. The front electric motor powers the front wheels, whereas the gasoline motor powers the rear wheels, making this car an all-wheel drive coupe with rear bias power. The gasoline engine and the two electric motors are actually attached to two transmissions in this car. That's right, this car has two transmissions. A 2-speed transmission in the front mounted to the front electric motor, and a 6-speed transmission mounted in the rear, working with the rear gasoline motor. The 1.5 liter inline 3-cylinder turbocharged motor makes 228 horsepower, and the electric motor makes 141 horsepower, providing this BMW i8 with a close to 400 wheel horsepower. Torque is rated at 420 foot-pounds of torque. And all that power is routed to all 4 wheels. The BMW i8 was introduced way back in 2013, 2014. What you see here in front of us is a 2016 model. And right now it's 2025. And I gotta say that this car has one of the most probably unique engine setups, especially with that, again, some would say tiny 3-cylinder inline turbocharged motor, and mounted with those two electric motors and two transmissions. Probably one of the most uniquely powered vehicles in not only 2025, but also when it was introduced way back when in 2012. The only other car that I can think about that has almost as complicated drivetrain and powertrain would be the newest generation of the Mercedes. I'm sorry, the Mercedes C63E, the one with the again the inline 4 turbocharged motor mounted to bunch of electric turbochargers mounted to electric turbos, so on and so forth. But again, for a car that had this in 2013, 2014, BMW is definitely ahead of its time. Of course, revolutionary for its time, and even today, you guys definitely see the butterfly doors that go up a la Lamborghini style. And another very unique feature of this hybrid vehicle is that you can actually drive this vehicle on pure electric power. That's right, you can shut off the gasoline motor and you can just run purely off the electric motor. And that will give you about 20 miles of range, which is not a lot, but number one, it's a pretty unique feature for a hybrid vehicle. Most hybrid vehicles don't give you that option. And again, in this day and age, most people commute less than 20 miles. So again, if you want to drive this car in full electric and save gas, you definitely can. And that's another unique feature besides the butterfly Lambo style doors of the BMW i8. So it is 2025 today, and I want to see and I want to show the audience. I really feel that the BMW i8 is a depreciation darling. It is one of the most unique cars, not only look-wise, but also engineering-wise. And for nowadays in 2025, you can buy this BMW i8 on the used market for less than $50,000, or even less than the price of a fully loaded Toyota Camry. Let's begin the exterior tour of the BMW i8. Starting with the front. The BMW i8 features, for new in its time in 2016 when it was released, very cool advanced, what BMW likes to call BMW laser light or laser headlights in the BMW i8. Now here in 2025, many cars nowadays do have laser headlight technology, but when this car was released in 2012, 2013, 2014, the BMW laser headlights were revolutionary. So from what I understand, laser headlights are essentially the next step in headlight technology. It's a step above LED headlights. I believe they give like 50 to 80 times more brightness than LED headlights, and also last longer than LED headlights. So the BMW i8 was one of the first to incorporate these laser beam headlights when the i8 was introduced. I really like the design of the housing of the BMW i8 headlights. Again, you have that high beam, low beam laser headlights. And then right around the rim, if you look really closely, the rim of the projector high beams and low beams have this really cool, again, blue trim around the headlights, matching again that blue trim. That's a factory option in your BMW exterior paint color. So again, you do have laser headlights with LED turn signals. Underneath the laser projector high beam and low beam, there is this, again, this amber LED light strip. Finishing off the look of the laser beam headlights is the complete black housing of the rest of the headlight, which gives it a really great, deep, aggressive look, especially contrasted with this really nice white metallic paint. The BMW i8 features the classic kidney bean or kidney shaped front grills. The only difference in this kidney grille and other BMWs is that the front grille of this kidney is non-functional. There are no vents. It is completely painted black, and it's surrounded by, again, this factory option frozen blue trim around the grille. As a reminder, the front of this car does not have a motor. It has an electric battery mounted in front, and the electric battery does not need any sort of cooling. So hence why the front grille is more looks over function. But it does give that classic BMW look to the front end of the BMW i8. On top of the kidney grille, you do have the BMW logo surrounded with that, again, that frozen blue trim. That's a factory option. On top of the emblem, you do have one functional hood scoop, which is here, which you definitely can see here. So essentially, this hood scoop allows hot air from that front mounted battery to escape from your BMW i8. Very, very cool, and very, very functional, and very, very hot. The front bumper features what looks to me like an integrated front lip spoiler that is accentuated with a shiny black paint to provide contrast. So again, definitely very aggressive, kind of almost fang-like. And again, with that contrasting black, shiny black paint to give it contrast. Definitely very aggressive. No need for any aftermarket front spoilers for this BMW i8. The front hood of this car as a consumer does not open. There is an electric motor in front, but BMW has chosen to not allow consumers to open this front trunk. I think you need like some sort of special tools or essentially special help from the authorized dealers in order to open the front hood, but I do have images of what it looks underneath of this hood. So here's a front hood, and this is what it should look like when you have the hood open with that, again, that electric motor in front, powered by its own individual 2-speed transmission. So again, the front, you cannot open it, and unlike other mid-engine sports cars, the front does not have a frunk for storage. What you see is what you get. But at least they nicely designed it with, again, this contrasting shiny black paint to accentuate that, again, that functional, essentially like a hood outlet for your front battery to cool down. And let's take a look at the wheel and tire package of the BMW i8. The BMW i8 comes with staggered 20-inch turbine style wheels. These ones happen to be finished in a shiny black with the BMW logo right in the dead center. And the front tires measure a 215/45 20-inch tires wrapped in these Bridgestone tires. Behind the turbine black finish wheels are cross-drilled ventilated rotors and a, looks like gray caliper. Again, this car does have some sort of cross-drilled and ventilated brake rotors to help stop these massive 20-inch wheels in front. Let's take a look at the rear tire setup. Here are the rear, slightly wider rear 20-inch turbine style rims of the wheel and tire package of the BMW i8. Center, you do have the BMW logo, finished in a custom shiny black. The rear Bridgestone Potenzas measure a slightly wider 245/40 20-inch tire. And again, the rear does have a gray painted caliper and again, cross-drilled rotors. Very, very cool. Great wheel and tire package of the BMW i8. The front bumper does have parking sensors in the front, a front mounted camera for your convenience, and amber side marker for your safety. Very subtle amber side markers contrast very well with that white metallic paint, and it also provides a nice safety aspect at nighttime. Very, very cool. Underneath the headlights, you do have headlight washers. Here is the passenger side. Here is The BMW i8 also features this very cool exposed carbon fiber roof. You can definitely see all the carbon fiber weaves if you look very closely, especially in this bright sun. Again, the BMW i8 comes with this, again, exposed, unpainted carbon fiber roof. At the center of the roof, you do have this shiny black shark fin antenna. Integrates very well with that, again, exposed carbon fiber roof. The BMW i8 features heated side mirrors with integrated side cameras, and it is painted a two-tone black with, again, that white pearl metallic finish. And integrated right into the turn signal is a integrated LED turn signal light. Definitely very cool. Power heated and nicely designed and painted with, again, integrated cameras. That is the driver's side, passenger side, and you have a matching one on your driver's side. Great design, and again with that side mounted camera for safety, function, and form. Let's take a look at my second favorite exterior feature of the BMW i8, and it is the rear quarter panel right here. So if you take a look at the rear quarter panel, it essentially composes of this air inlet that creates what exotic car aficionados call the flying buttress. So this flying buttress not only looks cool and has really great design features, but also provides a great aerodynamic function, providing extra downforce to the rear end of the car. I love how the rear fender merges from the bottom and meets with the top wing of the essentially trunk lid, and it creates kind of like this inlet where you go straight through. Same thing on the driver's side. Again, you have the bottom bender meeting and flowing with the top part of the buttress, and in between these two edges you have, again, that inside flying buttress, providing aerodynamic flow all the way through to the end, rear end of the car. These side skirts are nicely sculpted, providing a lot of contrast, and that contrast again is accentuated with, again, the optional BMW, what they call frozen, what I call matte blue highlights, and then a flat black bottom finish on that side skirt. Again, lots of contour, lots of color, and that color contrast provides, again, just that visual period at the end of these nicely aggressive side skirts of the BMW i8. Now let's take a look at my first favorite exterior feature of the BMW i8, and it starts with these butterfly doors. Very, very cool, very, very Lamborghini-like, very, very exotic car flair design. And again, what BMW likes to call the butterfly doors. That is the driver's side. Let's go ahead and open up the passenger side. So in order to open the door, there's a soft touch pad right behind this little notch here, and all you gotta do is reach behind there and give it a push, and the whole door opens right up. The doors are held in a very sturdy fashion with this, again, pretty thick air piston. And again, my favorite exterior feature of the BMW i8 are these, what BMW calls butterfly doors, I call Lambo style doors. One of the most unique features in any passenger car, even today in 2025. And one of the coolest exterior features also occurs when you open up the door. So when you open up these butterfly doors and you look very, very closely, you can see that the door has that exposed carbon frame right at the edge when these, again, butterfly doors are open. Definitely very cool. Again, these carbon fiber doors definitely match, again, that exposed carbon fiber monocoque frame of the BMW i8. Again, you get a double dose of exotic car flair with the door open. Doors open up, and then it exposes, again, that exposed carbon finish that matches, again, the very exotic monocoque interior. One of the most attention-grabbing features of the exterior of this BMW i8. Let's take a look at the rear of the BMW i8. So the taillights are full LED taillights. I love how the top portion of the rear taillight is actually a turn signal, and that portion is integrated into the top lid or the top buttress of the trunk lid. Whereas underneath that is the brake light, and that is integrated into the bottom buttress of the rear fender on the BMW i8, and they meet right in the center where the buttress allows aerodynamic air to flow through. But again, I really love how they separated the turn signal with the bottom LED brake light. Definitely one of the most unique design features of any modern day car. And I think that they look great and are very, very bright. Great design. Let's swing over to the passenger side. Same thing. Again, nicely integrated with that buttress underneath that turn signal. One of the nicest design taillights of any modern car, and even one of the nicest design taillights of many modern exotic cars. Underneath the brake lights, you do have these reverse lights shrouded in a red amber plastic. And this car is optioned with, again, that optional BMW frozen blue accents. Contrast very well with, again, that exterior white pearl paint. So you have the accent that runs all the way through. And just highlights all those different curves of the rear end of the BMW i8. Right dead center, you also have the BMW logo with, again, that optional frozen blue trim around the emblem. You have your i8 logo, and as a reminder, you do have a extra emblem here that says eDrive, which I can only assume is reminding you of this car's ability to, again, drive on only the electric motor, turning off the gas motor. So again, you can drive this hybrid coupe as a full electric vehicle because it has this emblem in the back called eDrive. If you do have a chance to spec or buy a used BMW i8, I believe that this white pearl metallic with frozen blue highlights is one of the best color combinations because, again, that white and then that frozen blue And that black trim definitely reminds you of BMW's mpower colors. Again, it's a great livery, and it harkens well to BMW's race heritage. And again, all those blue highlights only help accentuate all the different curves and angles of the rear end and the front end of the BMW i8. Style and history. mpower, baby. Continuing on, back here, you do have your BMW 3-cylinder inline 3 turbocharged motor mounted right back here behind the rear seats underneath this tinted hatch. The tinted hatch has functional flat black outlets to allow hot air to escape from, again, that rear engine mounted BMW 3-cylinder turbocharged motor. Very subtly on the hatch, you do have this small little duckbill that has been molded in or incorporated into the rear. I really love very subtle rear spoilers. Not everyone needs a double-decker Porsche GT2, GT3 / Subaru WRX tabletop wing. I think this car speaks volumes by having this little sculpted duckbill that really integrates with all the curves of the exterior of the BMW i8. Let's take a look at the rear hatch of the BMW i8. So with the rear hatch open, you do have this rear glass, and on top of the rear glass you do have your integrated rear view camera. We'll take a look at the engine in a little later. The trunk has a pretty cool feature. It has a privacy cover to cover up any of your belongings in your trunk. So as you can see, you can open this up and store all your belongings here in the trunk, and then close it right up, so that when you close up this glass lid, all your items are protected from prying public eyes. The trunk space in the BMW i8 in the rear is about 5 cubic square feet of space, and I can tell you right now that the trunk space is pretty small, and it'll probably fit maybe one full-size luggage. But if you're hoping for more storage, more than likely you're going to have to use the rear passenger seats, because there's very low trunk in the back of this hatch. But definitely looks cool. And this hatch hides much more than just a trunk. It hides that mid-mounted 3-cylinder turbocharged motor. Another great design element of this rear hatch being opened is that you can again see that carbon monocoque finish right at the edge of the door, especially in the sunlight. Definitely a very, very cool design feature when you open the hatch of the BMW i8. The rear bumper also features dual exhaust outlets. You can't really see the exhaust from the back, but if you look underneath, you can see the exhaust tip right there. So although the BMW i8 does have dual exhaust outlets, only the passenger side is the functional exhaust. The driver's side exhaust is actually a fake exhaust that actually doubles up as a stereo exhaust. So it's an external speaker that essentially makes exhaust noise. So again, dual exhaust outlets, but only one functional outlet on the passenger side, and you can see it by looking underneath, and you can see the kind of quad oval tip mounted underneath the bumper. Very low cool rear end design detail of the BMW i8. Let's take a look at the trunk of the 2016 BMW i8. So as a reminder, the BMW i8 does not have a front trunk. The only storage space that you have that resembles anything similar to a trunk is in the rear hatch, right next to the 3-cylinder turbocharged motor. And here it is. So once you pop open that hatch, you have roughly about, I would probably say, less than 5 cubic feet of space for maybe one luggage, barely. Actually, I doubt that you can even fit a luggage in here. So there's like a weird thing. I think it's due to the mid-engine placement, but the trunk space is just very oddly shaped. You can fit a few duffel bags back here, but definitely any hard luggage, you're probably gonna have to end up using the back seats of the i8 for storage. So again, not much trunk space, but it does have this little cool divider for security purposes. So if you put stuff in the trunk, for example, this person has put their i8 cable charger, there is a essentially a security shade, so that when you put that on, it covers everything up, and then you can close up the hatch and all your trunk goodies are nice and hidden. And that is your trunk of your 2016 BMW i8. Now let's take a look at your engine of your 2016 BMW i8. Now I was hesitant to create a engine portion for the BMW i8 in this video, but I'm gonna go ahead and see what I can do to show you the engine bay. So again, the engine is placed in behind the passenger and driver seat, and in order to quote unquote access the engine bay, you want to go ahead and pop open this rear glass hatch. Let's lift that up, and here is your, again, 3-cylinder inline-4 turbocharged motor, placed somewhere right here. So for reasons unknown, usually when any manufacturer sticks an engine in the middle of their car, it's a pretty big deal. When Chevy Corvette did it, they definitely created a glass hatch for you to see. Ferrari has it, Lamborghinis have it. But for some reason, BMW engineers decided that maybe the 1-point-something liter 3-cylinder turbocharged motor wasn't big enough to display, even though it was mounted mid-engine. Hence why you essentially cannot see your motor at all. You essentially have to take apart all these different panels and dig all the way down to the bottom of this trunk in order to even get access to the engine. So I'm gonna give you guys the next best thing, and that is a photo of someone else who actually did that. So again, this is essentially your engine bay of your, again, 3-cylinder inline-4 turbocharged motor that is mounted to 2 electric motors and 2 transmissions, pushing out roughly, I would say, 400 horsepower and 420 foot-pounds of torque. Thankfully, the internet has already torn apart the i8 engine bay, so I don't have to. So here is the engine bay, and this is what I mean when I say you got to pull up pretty much all the panels of the car. So this is the picture of that again. 1.3 liter inline-4 turbocharged motor. So that would be essentially like right there. Here's another picture. Yeah, it's not really pretty to look at, but again, and here's like probably the best photo of the engine bay. So again, that is somewhere there. So again, 400 horsepower, 420 foot-pounds of torque, turbo, 3 cylinders, 2 electric motors, all-wheel drive, and 2 transmissions. So again, this is your engine compartment of your 2016 BMW i8. One really unique feature of the engine bay of the BMW i8, I guess it's kind of like consolation for not being able to see the engine. BMW engineers left exposed, when you open this hatch here to see the engine bay, the carbon fiber monocoque chassis with that dry carbon weave wrapping all the way around. Definitely very, very cool. And that falls in line with the door panels. When you open them, the carbon monocoque is exposed, and that theme is carried over to the engine bay. So again, you may not be able to see the engine of your BMW i8, but you can definitely see the carbon monocoque frame that makes up your BMW i8. Definitely a very cool feature that's not found in many other engine bays. And on the passenger side, rear fender, you have a slot here. And this slot is where you stick in your gasoline pumps. So again, your gas pump or your gas inlet on your BMW i8 is found on your passenger side rear fender. And we scoop around to the front, the driver's side. The driver's side front fender also has some sort of covering here, and this is actually to charge your BMW i8's battery. So this is where you plug in your that wire to charge it from home or whatnot. So again, if you want to charge your batteries, it's going to be on your driver's side. If you want to pump gas into your i8's engine, it's going to be on your passenger side. So another thing to note, your BMW i8 does need to be plugged in. What I mentioned earlier regarding being able to drive this car in pure electric mode with the gasoline engine off, that gives you about 20 miles of range. That portion of it actually does need to be charged via a cable similar to any other electric car such as a Tesla. So again, yeah, make a note of that. But again, a great feature on the BMW i8. Let's take a look at the key that you get when you purchase your 2016 BMW i8. And here is your key to your BMW i8. Definitely very cool. The remote is pretty light. It looks like metal, but the majority of it is made out of plastic. But I do like the fact that they did match that, again, that factory option frozen blue accents of the exterior paint to the remote itself. So again, the back has this like shiny blue with the silver and black, kind of matching your, again, the color scheme of the exterior of this BMW i8. The remote has various features on it. The BMW button in the center locks the car. On top of that, you have a lock, unlock, and below that you have a power trunk release, and in case of emergencies you do have an emergency panic button. So again, very simple, but I do like how, again, it's nicely designed, very light, and again, this car is push to start, and again, it also color coordinates with your BMW i8. So again, here's a key that you get when you purchase your BMW i8. Very cool. Let's begin the interior tour of this BMW i8, starting with the driver's side door panel. As you can see, unlike other passenger cars, this BMW i8's door panel is flipped upside down, inside out, and around. So here is your BMW driver's side door panel. The interior of this BMW i8 is finished in a Giga ivory white leather with black contrast. And you can definitely see that white leather right here in the center of the door panel. It is definitely nicely stitched. And you have, again, a contrasting white leather with, again, that black contrasting leather. On the door handle, which you definitely need when you're trying to bring that big door down, you have your Harman Kardon speaker system. You have your lock and unlock, And you have very simple soft touch controls for your window switch. And right on top of the window switch, you do have your side mirror controls. And right on top of your side mirror controls is your button to open your fuel tank. Functional and fashionable. I really love this subtle, small glass on the door panel. BMW could have easily made that piece just a solid black piece of plastic, but by integrating just a small piece of glass, it just allows just extra view outside of your BMW i8. Very, very cool, subtle feature is that piece of glass. Very nicely designed. And before we jump into the cockpit, of the BMW i8, let's take a look at the door sill. Because again, this BMW i8 is no regular door sill. When you open the doors, you can definitely see that carbon fiber monocoque frame going all the way around the door sill. And integrated into that door sill, what you definitely need when you're climbing in and out of this BMW i8 is this i8 door sill protector. Right underneath it again is that exposed carbon fiber monocoque frame. Very, very cool. And these are your ivory white seats in your BMW i8. They are powered, they are heated, they are ventilated, and they again are wrapped in that really, really clean white ivory interior. Matches very well with again that pearl white exterior. Nicely designed headrest. And I love how this little side piece that helps you hold essentially your seatbelt holder looks almost exactly like the outside flying buttress of your BMW i8. Very cool. Now let's jump into the cockpit of the BMW i8. And here we are, folks, inside of the BMW i8 cockpit. The steering wheel features a tri-spoke steering wheel, and it's wrapped in a nice carbon fiber with that white ivory and that BMW livery showing exactly right on top exactly where the middle of the steering wheel is. Very, very nice. In the center, you do have your BMW logo with again that optional frozen blue highlight accent. And in the center, you do have your horn. To the right, you have your BMW voice commands and your phone controls. To the left, you have dynamic cruise control. And right behind your steering wheel, since this is equipped with the 6-speed automatic manual transmission, you do have integrated paddle shifters behind the steering wheel. And behind those paddle shifters, you have your windshield wiper controls and your turn signals. You have a 8-inch instrument cluster that's digital. And to the right, you have a matching wider, about 12-inch wide multimedia touchscreen for all your multimedia needs, from your radio to making phone calls to navigating. Underneath your multimedia screen, you have your various AC outlets. You have one huge one in the center. You have one to the left. And I love how the AC outlets are trimmed also in that silver trim, matching the exterior. Your passenger gets lucky with 2 combined outlets. Underneath the passenger side AC outlets, underneath again that ivory wrapped leather dash, you have a lockable storage compartment. Underneath the center AC outlets, you do have your analog radio controls. Underneath that, you have your analog AC and heat and cooling center. It's nice to have knobs, but to note, you can operate both the multimedia system and the AC system using both this analog knobs and or the multimedia touchscreen. Here you have your auto manual, 6-speed auto manual transmission with sport shift. One of my favorite features of this car is to put this car into race slash track mode. All you have to do is move this lever over to this portion that says sport, and when you do that, it puts this whole car in sport, turning on the gasoline motor and the electric motor all at one time, giving you all the power and harnessing all that close to 400 horsepower and 420 foot-pounds of torque. This car is push to start, and if you want to drive in full electric mode, all you have to do is click right underneath that start stop button where it says eDrive, and you'll get about 20 miles of pure electric driving distance before the gasoline motor kicks in. So again, pure electric mode is that eDrive button. Underneath that, you have traction control, and you can also change your driving modes from comfort to eco. You have your camera controls here for the front mounted camera, the rear mounted camera, and the side mounted cameras. To the right of the shift knob, you have your electric parking brake. And underneath that, you have your BMW iDrive control. So basically, you can control the multimedia system either through the touchscreen or also via this turning knob that functions very much like a computer mouse. Underneath that, you have a single cup holder for driver or passenger. But fear not, in the rear seat compartment, there is 2 other cup holders for the rear seat passenger, but I'm pretty sure your front seat passenger can also use it. Here's your matching ivory, fully powered, heated and ventilated passenger seat. In this compartment is your primary charging station with USB outlets. Let's see what looks like USB and a auxiliary in outlet. So again, you can charge your various electronics in this compartment and hide it all away. Very nice. Here you have your armrest wrapped in that nice white ivory, but you can open it up and you do have an additional what looks like a cigarette lighter charger, or a 12 volt or a 9 volt 12 volt, and some sort of tray to put some sort of coins. Very nice. To the left of the steering wheel, yeah, in classic BMW style, you have your headlight controls right underneath the driver's side AC outlet. Right above here, you have your electronic rearview mirror. And up top, you have your dome lights for your interior lights. Driver and passenger both have nice little visors to block out the sun and fix your power. Side impact airbags are standard. And the top is finished in this nice contrasting, it looks like a tan, but I'm assuming it's probably ivory kind of cloth finish. Very nice. Kind of hoping this would be Alcantara, but it has a nice textural feel to it. And I like the light colors of the BMW ivory leather, and again, ivory headliner. This car surprisingly does come with 2 rear seats in the back that are also contrasted or stitched with that white ivory leather. They look more like bucket seats. Not much room back there. You could probably fit 2 kids, or I probably just use this back part as essentially extra storage. You have a rear glass in the back, right on top of that mid-mounted engine. And there's a center channel speaker integrated in the back and in the rear. So again, this is a 2+2 coupe, and you are able to fit 2 more passengers in the, again, rear seat area. Okay, here I am in the back seat of the BMW i8. I can tell you that if it's hard to get in the front passenger seat in the BMW i8, I can tell you that it's about 10 times harder getting into the back of the BMW i8. But here I am. Again, if I were to put this seat back, you essentially would have no room. I'm about 5'7". I'm not the tallest person in the world, but I can tell you right now, back here, I think it's only meant for storage for very, very, very small children. I do not believe a full-size adult can fit back here comfortably or for very long. Again, it looks cool, it looks great. It does give you that option if you're in a pinch, but it's definitely not comfortable at all. This is probably one of the most uncomfortable rear seats I've ever been in. There's essentially 0 neck room. I'm pretty much like hunching back my neck, almost my chest to even fit. So again, not very practical, but at least it gives you the options, and you can drive young children, which they would probably find pretty cozy back here. Or you could throw a dog or a cat back here too. But definitely not meant for full-size adults. But at least the rear passengers do get a 2 cup holders and a seatbelt. So again, here is the back seat of the BMW i8. Okay, let's begin the point of view drive of this 2016 BMW i8. Again, this car is push to start, so you put your foot on the brake and press the start button. And you'll hear the car power up, and you put it into gear as such. And the first thing I do when I get into this car is set it into track mode, also on a sport. So to set into sport mode, take a look at the multimedia screen in front. When you put into sport mode, the engine turns on. Both electric motors power up, and you're given all that 400 horsepower and 420 foot-pounds of torque to use. So again, you just put in the sport mode, you shift the shift knob over to sport, and the front screen will basically turn a race red. And you could definitely hear the faux exhaust in the rear basically power up. Definitely hear that rumble back there. So let's see what this car is like to drive with the, again, 1-point-something liter inline 3-cylinder turbocharged motor attached to, again, 2 electric motors and 2 transmissions. So straight out the bat, folks, my first about maybe like 15 miles in this car, I basically drove it around in the city streets. And I can tell you for that, basically about half an hour of driving in the city streets, I was pretty disappointed with the BMW i8. It was pretty slow. It felt like I was driving like a base BMW 3 Series, 325, not even 330. And yeah, so basically I drove around city streets for like about like 15 miles, about 30 minutes. And I was downright getting sleepy and bored. And yeah, I was a little disappointed. But then my navigation forced me to hit the highway. And when I did, this BMW i8 shocked me. Basically, when I got into the freeway and I floored it, man, when this car gets above 4,000 RPM, it is night and day. I could understand at that portion is exactly where the BMW i8 shines. And the BMW i8 shines, I truly believe, on the open highways, or here where we're at today, Andrews Crest Highway with no cars, where the car can really rev beyond 4,000 RPM. Because again, it's a turbocharged motor. Higher revs equals, you know, faster spinning turbos, more power. But man, this thing is a beast when you're on the highway and you're going about 60 and you floor it. Yeah, it goes to 60 and 90 pretty fast. I think the sweet spot for this car is, again, on the highway, right about 60 miles per hour to 90 miles per hour, and the RPM meter right above 4,000 RPM. Otherwise, essentially, I really feel you're driving just like a Honda Civic or like a BMW 325 on the daily. It's actually pretty boring driving around in city streets in the lower RPM. And that was actually in sport mode also, I want to note that. So again, I was pretty shocked. I didn't know what the big deal was, but man, when it went on the freeway, yeah, this car is definitely has exotic car DNA in it. It's definitely very powerful on those on the highway. So we're gonna wait for these motorcyclists to go, and we'll continue this test drive. So again, here I go, flooring it. So essentially this car is most enjoyable when you can actually literally floor the accelerator, like the accelerator to the max. That's when this car really shines. It definitely moves. It's yeah, it feels really exotic when the accelerator is mashed down to the floor. Otherwise, it's pretty docile. Again, I find it boring, but I assume BMW i8 engineers made it that way so that, again, I feel this is a very practical exotic car. You have 4 seats, you have, again, an all-electric mode, you have pretty good fuel economy, but you also have the exotic car flair with the, again, those butterfly doors and the exotic car design. But again, you do have a little bit of that, again, exotic car power in the upper RPMs when you floor it in this car. So this car is not like a Porsche. It's not a Lamborghini. It's not a Ferrari. The suspension is actually pretty soft. I'll probably say taking these corners, although this car does have all-wheel drive, you definitely feel the body lean. The suspension is pretty soft. I mean, I could take the corners, but even with the all-wheel drive, I don't feel too confident with it because, again, the suspension, there is body lean. It does feel a little spongy. I equate this car more of just like an exotic car exterior with more of like a GT or Grand Touring type of driving experience. The brakes are nothing to write home about. They're pretty basic brakes. They also feel kind of spongy. They don't have that grip of like other exotics that you have that kind of lunge you forward. Again, it's pretty spongy even when they're cold. So again, if you are going to get BMW i8, please expect those things. Again, this is not like a Canyon Carver. I find it more like a Grand Tourer. Although it does have, again, those exotic butterfly doors. The seats, very comfortable. I really love the fact of how supportive and luxurious they are. The white ivory can get a little hot. In hot weather today, it's about 95 degrees here in Andrews Crest Highway, and these seats are burning, but they are supportive. And again, the good thing is they are ventilated to cool, and they are also powered by heat also. So again, very luxurious. Again, more grand touring than exotic as far as the seat department goes. And they also look great. I guess the only thing that's missing in the seats is like a massage function. So again, I enjoy driving this car in the canyons. On the straightaways, it's a blast. But when you are taking turns, again, it's not as fun as other cars because again, there's this tremendous amount of body lean and it doesn't inspire much confidence. Forward visibility is great. You do have this big screen in front. And again, in the interior tour, I did note that on the door panel, you do have these little glass pieces, very, very small pieces of glass, but it makes a world of difference being able to see outside your front windshield to the left. And if you need even more visual seeing out, you also do have those, again, those side mirror mounted cameras, a front mounted camera, and a rear view camera. I'm gonna roll the window down here and let you hear some of the driving noise. So as a reminder, folks, this car is powered by a turbocharged inline 3 motor attached to 2 electric motors and 2 transmission, a 2-speed transmission in the front mounted to the front electric motor, and a 6-speed transmission mounted to the gasoline engine. One unique thing about this BMW i8, which it is a hybrid, you can drive this car in full electric mode. So as a reminder, to put this car in full electric mode, all you have to do is click on the eDrive button, and you know you're going to be in full electric mode essentially when the entire car becomes pretty much quiet. Right now it's just running on full electric power, and let's see what it's like driving the i8 with just the electric motors and no gasoline engine. So the first thing that you definitely notice is that the car becomes exponentially quiet. The electric mode isn't really fast, but it definitely is torquey. It gives you that essentially full electric car torque. So it's a little more fun to drive, but again, top end speed is pretty slow. You'll get about 20 miles out of the electric motor, which I feel is enough for most people to run their errands or go on their short commute to work or wherever else they need to go. So again, that's really one of the most unique options of this BMW i8, which is a hybrid, and not many hybrids allow you to turn off the gas motor completely and drive on full electric. So again, lots of versatility and fuel economy in this BMW i8 in full electric mode. Another great perk about driving this car in full electric mode is the fact that if you just feel like relaxing and just having a quieter time in life, with the electric motor on and driving through these canyons, it definitely brings almost a zen-like experience. Everything's pretty quiet. The interior is pretty quiet, especially with windows up. No gasoline motor behind you. It's just peaceful. So I'm essentially flooring the electric motor right now, and the car doesn't move. So again, not much speed. It gets the job done. But again, essentially with the eco mode, electric mode, you get to essentially save on gas and just again, just have a little more versatility in your daily driving options. Also saves you trips to the gas station, I suppose. So essentially at the end of the day, the BMW i8 is what I call the practical exotic car. It's practical because it has 4 seats. It's practical because it's a hybrid. It's practical because again, the motors aren't big. It's not some V12 motor eating up all your gas. There's 2 electric motors. It's priced right. but it does have exotic car traits, especially depending on environment. But one thing that you cannot take away from this car that is exotic all the way is most definitely, no matter whether you're in your i8 parked in a parking lot, or going 10 miles per hour, or going 90 miles per hour, or going 120 miles per hour, this car definitely has that exotic car look, from all those sculpted edges, from those flying buttresses, and especially when you open up those butterfly slash, I call them Lamborghini doors that go up. So again, I call the BMW i8 the most practical exotic car, and in 2225 it is definitely a depreciation darling, and is a great value to have in the used car market here in 2025. I hope you guys enjoyed the test drive of this BMW i8. I hope you guys enjoyed the test drive of this 2016 BMW i8. Now, let's take a look at some pros and cons of the 2016 BMW i8. The first pro of the BMW i8 in 2025 would definitely be value for your dollar, and as far as exotic car dollars. I think this car is a great value, not only in 2016 when this car was introduced, but it's even more of a value today in 2025. The original MSRP of this vehicle was $140,000 MSRP without options. Nowadays in 2025, you can get a pretty well sorted, pretty well maintained, low mileage, early year BMW i8 on the used market for less than $50,000. Some were even selling for $35,000 to $40,000. And again, you get the dihedral or the butterfly doors that go up. There are very few cars less than $50,000 that have factory Lamborghini-style doors. So again, you get the exotic car looks with the, again, those butterfly doors. You get that unique 3-cylinder turbocharged motor that's attached to 2 electric motors and 2 transmissions. This car is also all-wheel drive, and the car is pushing essentially 400 horsepower and 400 plus foot-pounds of torque. So again, you get a lot of exotic car looks for not a whole lot of money. And I feel nowadays, especially with cars such as the Toyota Camry, or hey, even the Nissan Altima or even a Nissan Sentra pushing $25,000 to $35,000 and more, the BMW i8 in the used market is definitely a depreciation darling, giving a lot of value and a lot of exotic car looks and exotic car performance for Toyota Camry money. The biggest con in this car straight off the bat was the minute that I opened this door. I'll show you what I'm talking about. The biggest con in this car starts before you can even start the car. I found that the biggest con in this car is actually getting in and out of the BMW i8. It's pretty much one big clown show, and I'll show you what I mean. So we have the doors open right now, and in order to get in, you have this really high against side seal. Again, this is a carbon monocoque, people understand that, but there are a lot of other exotic cars with a carbon monocoque frame that don't have this huge hump that makes it just very, very difficult to get in and out of. And the other reason why this car is difficult to get in and out of is, again, in the coupe form of the i8, the doors are essentially mounted very low, so you just have a very small opening to get into, so you essentially have to kind of just like slide yourself in there. So I kind of show you kind of how I'm doing it. How I do is basically I stick one foot in and I just kind of like just drop myself in, and again, it's just very, very awkward seating position. Another annoying thing that I found is that I'm not a tall person. I'm about 5'7", 5'8", and for the life of me, every time I get in and out of this car, I keep hitting my head on essentially the door. So again, I feel like this issue is more found in the coupe, because at least in the convertible form of the i8, you can remove the top down, and the convertible form does not have this ceiling right here, so it allows more room. So again, I wish in the coupe version they made the doors more like maybe the Mercedes SLS with the gull wing, so this top portion is opens up. So again, it's just very awkward to get in, and it's even worse to get out of. So again, I'm going to try to get out now. So I found the best way to get out of this car is essentially hands first. So what I do is I kind of grab onto the outside and kind of just slide my way out as such. And on a hot day like this, you really have to put your hands and arms on this hot piece. So again, getting out of this is just very, very cumbersome. I'm about 5'7", just a normal average height and weight, and it's difficult for me to get in and out of this car. So I imagine anyone who's taller or bigger or wider, or God forbid may have some sort of physical disabilities or whatnot, or if you're an older age, this car is just very, very hard to get into, and it's very, very hard to get out of. So again, that might play a part in your decision making and purchasing the i8. But if you're great at acrobatics, I think that's a great choice. But if you're not, you might want to test it out before you commit to it. So again, the biggest con is essentially the dynamics of just getting in and out of the BMW i8. Although it does look cool though. It's just another pro of the BMW i8 is what I call economical and practical, but with exotic car flair. So again, economical. The pro of this car is again economical gas wise. This is a hybrid, and the great thing about this vehicle is that you can drive this car on pure electric mode. If you drive the car in only electric mode, you get roughly about 20 miles of range, and that may not seem like a lot, but running around town doing errands, and also I feel most people commute to work probably less than 20 miles a day. And again, if you have a commute that's less than 20 miles in range, or you run errands less than 20 miles per day or per weekend, it is a great vehicle to have, because again, you can drive on pure electric power, saving on gas. I feel like the BMW i8 is a practical sports car, or practical borderline exotic car. Again, you get the Lamborghini-style doors that open up, but you also get the economy and the 4 seats of, for example, a Toyota Prius. So essentially, you're buying an exotic car with the exterior of a Ferrari-ish, Lamborghini-ish, with the again, the practicality and the fuel economy and the practicality of a Toyota Prius. So again, the second pro is this car. It has a lot of economical and practical characteristics, but also doing it with exotic flair. Your Prius probably can't do that. I hope you guys enjoyed this review of this 2016 BMW i8. If you guys like this review, please like and subscribe to the Gas and Gavel YouTube channel. We truly do appreciate your support, and tune in next week for more enthusiast, exotic, and performance car reviews.